My name is Ruby. I want to tell you my story. It is a sad story. It is about my good husband. And it is about why I cheated on him. I had a perfect life. I really did. But perfect is not always happy. My husband's name is David. He is a good man. When people say a good man, they are talking about David. He is kind. He is gentle. He is honest. He never raised his voice at me, not even once. He worked hard at his job. He was an accountant. He liked numbers. He said numbers make sense. They always have a right answer. Our life was like that. It had a right answer. It was simple and clear. We lived in a small, lovely house. The walls were yellow. I chose the color. David painted every wall himself. He was careful. He did not spill any paint. Our house had a little garden in the back. Every spring, we planted tulips. Red and yellow tulips. David would dig the holes. I would place the bulbs inside. He always remembered to water them. He never forgot. He was a man who never forgot the important things. Our life was quiet. It was calm. Many people would want this life. My mother always told me how lucky I was. Ruby, she would say, you found a good, stable man. That is the most important thing. My friends agreed. They would visit our home. They would say, your house is so beautiful. David is so sweet. You are so lucky. And I would smile. I always smiled. I would say, yes, I am very lucky. But inside, my heart felt different. It did not feel lucky. It felt quiet, too quiet. It felt empty. I had everything a person could want. A loving husband, a beautiful home, a stable life. So why did I feel like something was missing? This was a question I asked myself every night. I would lie in bed next to David. I could hear his steady breathing. He was peaceful. I was not. Our days were all the same. A perfect, repeating pattern. We woke up at 7 in the morning. David would get up first. He would go to the kitchen and make coffee. He knew exactly how I liked it. A little milk, no sugar. He would bring me a cup in bed. He would kiss my forehead. Good morning, love, he would say. His voice was always soft. Then I would make toast. He liked his toast a little brown. I knew this. I knew everything about him. I knew his favorite color was blue. I knew he liked to watch old movies on Sunday. I knew he was afraid of spiders. I knew him completely. But I felt he did not know me, the real me, the me that was hidden deep inside. I worked at the town library. It was a quiet job. I liked being around books. The books were filled with stories. Stories of adventure in faraway lands. Stories of great love and great pain. Stories of passion that burned like a fire. I would read these stories during my lunch break, and I would dream. I dreamed of a life that was not so simple. A life that was not so predictable. My life was not a grand story. It was a short sentence in a very boring book. Ruby lived a quiet life with her good husband. That was it. I wanted more chapters. I wanted a surprise ending. In the evenings, David came home at exactly 6 o'clock. Not 1 minute late. Not 1 minute early. We would eat dinner together at our small wooden table. He would ask about my day. How was work, love? He would ask. It was good, I would say. Quiet, he would tell me about his day. It was always about numbers. Numbers that went up. Numbers that went down. I would listen. I would nod. But my mind was far away. It was in one of my books. After dinner, we would watch television. A nature show or a quiz show. Nothing too loud. Nothing too exciting. At 10 o'clock, we would go to bed. He would hold my hand. I love you, Ruby, he would whisper. I love you too, David, I would whisper back. And I did love him. I really did. But was I in love with him? I was not sure anymore. Love felt like it should be more than this. It should be a feeling that fills you up. I just felt comfortable. This feeling of being bored, it grew slowly. Like a small weed in my beautiful garden. At first, it was easy to ignore. But then the weed got bigger. It started to cover the flowers. The red roses David brought me every Friday started to feel like a duty. A habit, not a romantic surprise. His gentle kiss on my cheek felt like a routine. Like brushing my teeth. I felt so much guilt. A good woman would be happy. A good wife would be grateful. What was wrong with me? I had a perfect life. But it felt like I was living inside a beautiful painting. It was nice to look at. But I could not move. I could not breathe. I was trapped in the frame. I wanted to break the glass and run. I wanted to feel the wind and the rain. I wanted to feel something real. I wanted passion. The change started on a normal Thursday. My friend Sarah called me. Sarah was different from me. She was single and loved the city. She was full of life and energy. Ruby, you need to come out with me, she said. There's a new bar downtown. They have live music. It will be fun. My first thought was no. I should stay home. David would be home soon. We had a routine. But then David called. Love, I have to work late tonight, he said. A big project. I might be home after midnight. Don't wait up for me. His voice was tired, but responsible. Always responsible. Of course, I said. Work hard, be safe. He was so understanding. He would never say no to me. He trusted me completely. And that trust felt heavy. It made me feel worse about the emptiness inside me. After I hung up, I called Sarah back. Okay, I said. I will come. I did not know that this one word, this one okay, would change everything. I put on a dress I had not worn in years. It was a red dress. David did not like it. He said it was too bright. But that night, I wanted to be bright. I put on makeup. I looked at myself in the mirror. I saw a different woman, not David's quiet wife. I saw a stranger. I felt a little scared, but I also felt a thrill, a small spark of excitement. The bar was nothing like my life. It was loud. The music was a fast, heavy beat that I felt in my chest. The lights were low and shifted from blue to purple to red. It was crowded with people. They were all laughing and talking and dancing. It was messy and alive. For a moment, I wanted to turn around and go back to my quiet, safe house. But Sarah pulled me inside. "Isn't it great?" she yelled over the music. I just nodded. We found a small table in a corner. Sarah went to get us drinks. I sat there, feeling small and out of place. I watched the people. They all seemed so free. Then a man walked toward my table. He was tall. He had dark, messy hair. He wore a black leather jacket. He was the opposite of David in every way. David was neat and calm. This man was a storm. He stopped at my table. He smiled a little. "You look lost," he said. His voice was deep. I was surprised he spoke to me. "I'm not lost," I said. Then I smiled too. "Okay, maybe a little." He laughed. "My name is Leo," he said. He sat down without asking. I should have been annoyed. But I wasn't. "I'm Ruby," I said. He looked at me with his dark eyes. They were intense. It felt like he was looking right through me. "Ruby," he said, rolling the name on his tongue. A beautiful name for a sad girl in a red dress. "I'm not sad," I said, a little too quickly. "Aren't you?" he asked. "You look like you're a million miles away." We started talking. He was a musician. He played the guitar in the band that was going to play later. He told me about his life. It was a life of traveling, of playing music in different cities, of not having a plan. It sounded scary, and it sounded wonderful. I told him I worked in a library. I expected him to be bored, but he wasn't. He leaned forward. "A library," he said. "So you are surrounded by thousands of stories, but you are not living your own." His words were like a stone thrown into the quiet lake of my life. They made waves, big waves, because it was true. That was exactly how I felt. For the first time in a very long time, I felt like someone saw me. The real me, the unhappy me. Sarah came back with the drinks. She gave Leo a curious look. We all talked for a while, but mostly I talked to Leo. It was easy. It felt natural. The loud music, the strange place, it all faded away. There was only his voice and his dark, understanding eyes. The band started to play. Leo got on stage. He was different on stage. He was powerful, full of energy. He played the guitar with so much passion. His whole body moved with the music. I watched him, and I could not look away. He was everything my life was not. He was wild and unpredictable, and full of fire. After his show, he came back to our table. He was sweating. He was smiling. He looked alive, truly alive. He asked for my phone number. I hesitated. My mind screamed at me. "Don't do it. Think about David. Think about your good, perfect life." But my hand moved on its own. I gave him my number. My heart was pounding like the drums in his music. I knew it was a mistake. A terrible, dangerous mistake. But another part of me, a part I had forgotten existed, whispered, "Finally. Something is happening." Finally, a new chapter. The next day, my phone buzzed. It was a text from Leo. I couldn't stop thinking about the sad girl in the red dress. My heart jumped. I felt a rush of something I had not felt in years. It was a mix of fear and excitement. I texted him back. We decided to meet for coffee. Just coffee. I told myself it was innocent. It was just a new friend. But I knew I was lying. We met at a small cafe in the city. A place where no one would know me. With Leo, I was not David's wife. I was just Ruby, a woman with her own thoughts and her own feelings. He made me laugh. He told me stories of his travels. He asked me about my dreams. My dreams. I had not thought about my dreams in so long. I told him I always wanted to travel. I wanted to see Paris. David did not like to travel. He said our home was his favorite place in the world. Leo listened. He really listened. He said, "You should go. Life is too short to stay in one place." Our coffee dates became walks in the park. Our walks became late-night conversations in his car. Every meeting was a secret. And the secrets made me feel alive. They were mine. They were not part of my perfect, predictable life with David. The guilt was a constant ache in my chest. Every time I came home to David, it hurt. He would be there, waiting for me. He would have saved me dinner. He would smile his kind, gentle smile. "Did you have a good day?" he would ask. And I would lie. Yes, it was fine. Just a normal day. The lies were heavy. They made it hard to breathe sometimes. I was living two different lives. One night, I was with Leo. We were sitting by the river. He had his guitar. He started to play a soft melody. Then he started to sing. It was a song about a woman with eyes like a deep forest. He said he wrote it for me. No one had ever written a song for me. David once bought me a new, expensive vacuum cleaner for my birthday. He said it was practical. It would make my life easier. I knew he meant to be kind. But a song was passion. It was art. It was everything I was missing. He stopped playing. He looked at me. The moon was bright. I could see the light in his dark eyes. He leaned in and he kissed me. It was not like David's kisses. David's kisses were soft and familiar. They were comfortable. Leo's kiss was different. It was hungry. It was desperate. It was full of a fire that I wanted to feel. And I kissed him back. I put all my secret sadness, all my boredom, all my longing into that kiss. That was the night I cheated on my good husband. And in that moment, with the fire of Leo's kiss, I burned my perfect life to the ground. The affair continued for weeks. I was a different person. I felt like an actress in a movie. During the day, I was Ruby, the quiet librarian, the good wife. At night, or in stolen afternoons, I was another Ruby. A passionate, alive woman who was loved by a musician. I thought I could keep my two worlds separate. I was so stupid, so naive. A lie is not a wall. It is a crack, and the crack always grows. David started to notice. He was not a stupid man. He was just a trusting man. He noticed that I was always on my phone. He noticed me smiling at secret messages. He noticed that I was distant. I was in the same room with him, but I was a million miles away with Leo. One evening, we were sitting on the sofa. We were watching one of his nature shows. I was not watching. I was thinking about Leo. David turned off the television. The silence was sudden. He looked at me. His kind, brown eyes were full of worry. "Ruby," he said, his voice so soft it almost broke my heart. "Are you happy?" I looked at this good man, the man who had built a life for me, the man who loved me with a steady, quiet love, the man I was betraying every single day. The guilt was a physical pain. I felt like I could not breathe. "Yes," I said. "Of course, I'm happy." The lie felt like poison on my tongue. He looked at me for a long time. He knew I was lying. He just did not know what the truth was. He sighed. "Okay, love," he said, and he turned the television back on. But we did not watch. We just sat there in the quiet, with a big, unspoken thing between us. The end came on a Tuesday. It was a rainy day. I was at home. David came home from work early. He said he was not feeling well. I made him some soup. He sat at the kitchen table while I cooked. It was a normal, domestic scene, but nothing was normal anymore. My phone was on the table. I was careless. I was so used to my secret life. My phone buzzed. A message. I did not move to get it. But David could see the screen light up. He could see the name. And he could see the first line of the message. The message was from Leo. It said, "I can't stop thinking about last night. I need to see you." Everything stopped. The sound of the rain, the bubbling of the soup, my own heart. It all just stopped. David did not shout. He did not get angry. He just looked at the phone. Then he looked at me. His face was pale. The kindness in his eyes was gone. It was replaced by a look of pure pain. A pain so deep, it felt like I was looking into a deep, dark well. "Who is Leo?" he asked. His voice was a whisper. It was the quietest sound I had ever heard, but it was louder than a scream. I could not speak. There were no more lies. The truth was there on the kitchen table, lit up on a small screen. My two worlds had crashed together, and the explosion was silent and terrible. Tears started to run down my face. But they were not enough. A river of tears could not wash away what I had done. He knew. He did not need me to say the words. He could see it all in my face. The man who knew how I liked my coffee and what I was afraid of. He knew my lies, too. He stood up from the table. His movements were slow, like he was moving underwater. He walked out of the kitchen. He did not say another word. I just stood there, my hand on the spoon, my tears falling into the soup. I heard him in our bedroom. Our bedroom. The place where we slept together for 7 years. I heard the sound of drawers opening and closing. The sound of a suitcase being packed. He came back into the kitchen. He was holding a small bag. He was not looking at me. He was looking at the wall behind me. "I will go to my brother's house," he said. His voice was flat, empty of all emotion. He walked to the front door. My body felt frozen. I wanted to run to him, to fall on my knees and beg him to stay, to tell him I was sorry. But I could not move. I had no right. At the door, he stopped. He put his hand on the doorknob. Then he turned. He finally looked at me. His eyes were full of a pain that I had caused. "Why, Ruby?" he asked. Just those 2 words. Was I not enough? And that question shattered me. It broke me into a million tiny pieces, because the answer was yes. He was enough. He was more than enough. He was good and kind and loving. I was the one who was not enough. I was the one who was broken. He opened the door and walked out into the rain. He did not look back. I stood there in our perfect yellow house and listened to the sound of his car driving away. The silence he left behind was the loudest sound in the world. After David left, the house felt wrong. The quiet I used to hate was now a monster. It was an empty, lonely quiet. It was filled with the words he did not say, the things I had broken. The yellow walls felt like they were closing in on me. The house was not a home anymore. It was just a building, full of my mistakes. I did the only thing I could think to do. I called Leo. I was crying so hard I could barely speak. I told him what happened. "David knows," I sobbed. "He left me." Leo was quiet for a moment. Then he said, "It's okay. You can come here. Come stay with me." His voice was my only hope. I packed a bag. I left the house with the tulips and the memories. I drove to his apartment. Leo's apartment was not like my house. It was small. It was messy. Clothes were on the floor. Dirty dishes were in the sink. It smelled like old coffee and smoke. It was not a home. It was just a place a person slept. Living with Leo was not a romantic story. The passion was there, yes. The fire was there. But a fire can keep you warm, or it can burn you. Our fire did both. Passion does not pay the rent. Passion does not wash the dishes. Passion does not build a stable life. Leo was a dreamer. He was always talking about his music, his next big show, his big break that was always just around the corner. But he did not work hard for it. He waited for it to happen. He was not like David. David was a builder. He built a life. He built a home. Leo was a storm. A storm is exciting to watch, but you cannot live inside a storm. I started to see the real Leo. He was charming, but he was also selfish. He was passionate, but he was also unreliable. When I was sad about David, he would get bored. He would say, "Don't think about him. Think about us." He did not understand my pain. He did not want to. I missed my old life. I missed it with a pain that was sharp and deep. I missed the quiet mornings. I missed the smell of David's coffee. I missed his gentle, predictable kiss. I missed talking about nothing. I missed our garden. I missed our boring, perfect life. I finally understood. The cage I felt I was in, it was never David's house. It was not the life he gave me. The cage was inside me. It was my own boredom, my own emptiness. I was looking for someone to save me, but no one can save you from yourself. I wanted passion. I got passion, but I lost love. I lost my best friend. I lost my home. I lost myself. After a month of living in Leo's chaos, I knew I had to leave. The storm was over, and all that was left was a mess. I told him I was going. He did not try to stop me. I think he was relieved. Our passionate story had reached its final chapter. I moved into a small, simple apartment. It was lonely. I spent many nights crying for the life I had destroyed. I needed to talk to David. I needed to tell him I was sorry. I sent him a text message. I did not know if he would reply, but he did. He agreed to meet me for coffee in a public place. I saw him sitting at a table in the cafe. He looked different, thinner, tired. The light in his kind eyes was gone. My heart broke all over again. I did this to him. My selfishness did this. I sat down. I did not know what to say, so I just said the truth. "I am sorry, David," I whispered. "I am so, so sorry. I was a fool. I was selfish. I had everything. I had you. And I threw it all away for nothing." He just listened. He was always a good listener. He did not interrupt. He let me say everything. When I was finished, he took a deep breath. "I forgive you, Ruby," he said. And for a moment, I felt a small spark of hope. But then he continued, "I forgive you, but I can't forget. The trust is gone, and I don't think I can ever get it back." I understood. Trust is like a piece of glass. Once it is broken, you can try to glue the pieces back together, but you will always see the cracks. Always. We got a divorce. He was fair. He did not try to hurt me. That was not his way. He kept the house, the yellow house with the garden, our home. Now I am alone. I still work at the library. I am still surrounded by stories, but my own story is different now. It is a sadder story, but it is also a story about learning. It is a story about making a terrible mistake and having to live with it. I am trying to build a new life, a life by myself. I am learning to find happiness not in another person, but inside me, in quiet moments, in a good book, in a walk in the park. It is hard. Some days, the loneliness is a heavy weight. My life with David was not a cage. It was a garden, a beautiful, calm, and growing garden. He tended to it every day. He made sure it was safe. And I was looking for a wildfire. And in my search for fire, I burned our beautiful garden to the ground. So why did I cheat on my good husband? I was bored. I was selfish. I was looking for something exciting. But I was looking in the wrong place. The most exciting thing in my life was his steady, unconditional love. And I was too blind to see it. Now I have lost everything. I lost my good husband. I lost my home. I lost a part of myself that I can never get back. Maybe you feel this way sometimes. Maybe your life feels too quiet, too predictable. Maybe you dream of something more. It is okay to have those feelings. But please, be careful. Be careful what you risk for a moment of excitement. Look around at your life. Look at the good things. The small, quiet, everyday things. See the beauty in them. Don't make my mistake. Don't destroy your own peaceful garden because you are looking for a storm. My name is Ruby, and this is my story of how I lost everything. It is a sad story, but it is mine. And I truly hope, that it can help someone else. Please appreciate the good love you have. Don't let it go.